What if your entire life was just a detailed coma dream, or a broken simulation repeating itself? Mark thought he knew when he would die, until the system began to glitch. I'm 46. My wife is Caroline, my son is Jake, he recently turned 20. I'm pretty settled, home, job, stability. But all this is just scenery. Because I've known since childhood how it would all end. When I was 8, I was hit by a car. I went out for the ball, and the blow was like a hammer hitting the world. I fell into a coma for 26 days. And inside there was a movie. My life, from beginning to end. I saw Caroline, although I didn't even know what love was then. I saw myself holding Jake in the maternity hospital, how he went to school. I saw myself in a gray coat, at a bus stop, in a blizzard, on the day when I would be 48. I saw how my heart would fail. Pain, darkness, and emptiness. Then nothing. When I came out of the coma, no one believed my stories. Well, naturally. A child. Delirium. Hallucinations. But then I began to notice, everything was happening exactly as I saw. Words. Moments. Faces. I didn't tell Caroline. She showed up too early, I recognized her on the subway, she dropped a book, I picked it up. Everything was like a dream. We got married 3 years later. I knew we were having a son, I knew the name, I even insisted on it, although we argued. And again, everything is correct. But the last couple of years I've been gnawed by horror. Because 48 is just around the corner. I'm starting to see cracks in this fate. Little glitches. For example, Jake started dating a girl named Sarah. She wasn't in my dream life. He was supposed to date some Nicole. I remember, she had bright red hair and bangs. And Sarah was a brunette, and I'd never seen her before. The first warning sign. Then more. I was supposed to have a seizure on the highway, on the way home from work. I knew that. I saw myself driving past a gas station with a red sign and a car with the license plate 783 RKM. This month I changed my route, on purpose. I drive through the city, avoid the highway. Anything to throw fate off course. I feel like I never woke up. That my life is just a long comatose dream, and I've gone off script. Please. If you're reading this, remember. Sometimes it's better not to know when you're going to die. Because then you start breaking the system. And the system breaks you. I want to tell you a rather strange story that happened to me this summer. And yes, I understand how it sounds. I still don't know what it was. It all started when I went to my sister's village for her birthday. Without my family, there and back, just to congratulate her, since it was a weekday and Caroline had an important meeting that evening. There was a lot of work, I left after dark. The road went through a country road, the very one where the forest comes right up to the side of the road. There was almost no moonlight, only headlights and darkness on the sides. Suddenly I saw a man standing by the road, hitting the road. He seemed ordinary, about 50 years old, dark jacket, face indistinguishable in the shadows. For some reason I immediately braked, although I usually don't pick up anyone in such a remote place. He got into the car and calmly said, "To the fork, if it's not too much trouble." "Sure," I answered and drove off. We talked for a while. He introduced himself as Victor. The conversation was about nothing, the weather, the road, some general phrases. His voice was calm, even too calm, as if rehearsed in advance. 10 minutes later a fork appeared. I stopped. Victor thanked me, nodded and went out. He immediately disappeared into the darkness, he didn't even turn around. I remained sitting, thought for a bit, then went out to stretch my legs and have a smoke. And then, something strange happened. When I turned my head to the left, just a meter away from me, right by the side of the road, in the light of the headlights I saw a roadside monument. An ordinary one, with a fence and flowers, a cross and a photograph. My cigarette fell out of my mouth when I saw the photo. That same Victor was looking at me from the photo. I'm not kidding. He was definitely him, the same jacket, the same face, the same expression. Under the photo was the date of death, August 17, 1989. Rest in peace. I stopped dead in my tracks. The air became cold, as if a wind had blown from inside the earth. And in the silence, I suddenly realized, the car was parked in exactly the same place where Victor had once been hit. I don't know who I gave a ride to that night. But now, every time I drive down that road, I involuntarily slow down at the fork, and I feel someone watching me from the darkness. I try not to think about this story with Victor too often. It sticks in my brain like an old dream that won't let go. After that incident on the country road, I became more wary. Not paranoid, not yet. But I notice oddities that, it seems, weren't there before. And here's another story. It happened a couple of months later. Then I decided to stop by the city flea market on the weekend. Just like that, to unwind, to see if there was anything interesting to be found. We have these on a vacant lot near an old factory, rows of tents, old ladies with rags, men with spare parts, antiques, books, cassettes, everything mixed up. The air smelled of dust and hot sausages. I just walked, wandered between the rows, touching almost nothing. And then I noticed a woman of about 60, sitting at a simple wooden table. There were only 3 things on it, an old radio, a black and white photo in a frame, and a wristwatch. For some reason, I was drawn there. The watch was exactly like my father's. Heavy, with a wide strap. I even thought that this was it. After my father died, my mother gave it to someone. Can I see it? I asked. Of course, the woman answered. Her voice was strange. As if she was speaking from afar. Take everything. The main thing is not to get lost. I did not understand what she meant. I took the watch. It was cold, like metal from the frost, although it was standing in the sun. I wanted to take a closer look at it, and then my gaze fell on the photo. My eyes darkened. It was me in the photo. Not like now, but, like a teenager. I was probably about 15 years old. A black and white photo, slightly blurry. I am standing at the gate of our old house. I'm wearing the exact same jacket I had in 9th grade. Only this photo never existed. I don't remember it. No one took my picture then. I would remember. I'm standing there looking at the camera as if I knew I was being photographed. Where did you get this photo? I asked. My voice was shaking. The woman silently put the frame in her bag. She looked up at me. These are the things of those who are confused, she said. I wanted to ask something else, but the next second I suddenly felt sick. There was a noise in my ears, my legs were weak. I grabbed the counter. I think it was some kind of panic attack. I barely made it to the car to get a drink of water. I lit a cigarette to calm down. Too much in my life feels like a script. As if events happen not according to logic, but according to someone's plan. I know how it sounds. But let's think about it. Wife, son, work, city, everything is too smooth. Too symmetrical. Like an ideal life according to a template. As if someone once turned on a demonstration mode for me, this is what a normal life should look like. No global catastrophes, no real upheavals, only measured turns so that I don't get bored. And I understand that I'm not the only one. We all obey rhythms. We wake up to an alarm clock, drive along the same roads, buy the same milk, say phrases that we've heard 100 times. Isn't this the glitch in the system? Isn't this the very loop? I began to write down observations. Repeating patterns. The same faces in different parts of the city. The same scenes in different places. Small discrepancies that could be attributed to fatigue or coincidence, but not for the 10th time. The same passerby walks past my car, in the same jacket, in the same pose, every Tuesday, at exactly 7:42. The news repeats the same headline with the same mistake, 2 months later. The cashier at the supermarket who greets me with a phrase I once heard in a dream. In a dream. I have not gone crazy. I have a healthy assessment that I can be part of something bigger, something artificial. If we assume that I am still lying in the hospital, hooked up to machines, and my mind has created a copy of life, a simulation, then everything becomes logical. Freezes, repetitions, strange people with unnatural speech. A random Victor who disappears into the darkness and appears in a photograph. A woman from a flea market who knows who I am. This is not mysticism. This is a side effect of the script not loading correctly. Or maybe it's not a coma. Maybe it's the Matrix. Not like in the movie, without the black latex and pathos. Just the Matrix, like a logical system in which I am an observer. A broken piece of code that suddenly realized that it has awareness. And now this awareness prevents the system from working stably. I started dreaming about other versions of me. The one who never went out on the road where the car hit me. The one who died at 8. The one who remained in a coma forever. There are many of them. We are parallel, but something has been bringing us closer lately. And then I had that dream. I found myself in a big white room. Bare walls. No doors, no windows. Just a chair and a monitor. And on the monitor, a timer. It was counting down the time until my death. Not 48 years, like before. But 83 years. That is, another 37 years. Frames appeared on the screen. My old age. A house by the sea. I am alone. Moving slowly, writing something in a notebook. Gray sky, seagulls, radio. I am not afraid. I just know that everything is coming to an end. That this whole strange life was an experiment. Or a chance. Or a game. And right before the timer reached 0, I saw my reflection in the window. And it was no longer me. It was a boy. In hospital pajamas. With a bandage on his head. He looked at me and smiled. And I realized, this is me in the present. He is sleeping. He is still sleeping. And this is my whole life, just a long, complex, detailed dream of a brain that doesn't want to die. I woke up. My heart was pounding. Rain was beating against the window. My wife was sleeping next to me. In the other room, silence. No clock, no visions, no doors. But in my head, silence, which was not there before. As if someone confirmed, yes. You understood everything correctly. And now I'm not looking for a way out. I just live. But every morning, when I open my eyes, the first thing I do is look at the calendar. And I think, how old am I really now?